Hi everyone, welcome back to TVI podcast.
Hi.
That's a nice one. I'm Carl Donnelly.
I'm Julian Deane.
And this is guest this week, Jack Skipper. How you doing?
Well,
I don't know why I gave that pause there. It felt like it was a political interview. Jack Skipper,
and
thanks
we're
for joining
joined
us.
by Jack Skipper.
You are you do well. You're a comedian of various mediums. You're new to stand up, but you do TikTok videos, very funny TikTok videos.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing those?
Since Christmas last year, so not really a year.
So right, you quite got on. Not early doors on TikTok.
No, I think I missed the there was the boom of it during the proper lockdown.
Yeah,
where everyone went for it, and it's all. I think they just built really quickly. But I was a bit late for that.
Well, I remember when Nigel Ung, who does
The billionaire.
Uncle Roger, me and him were in Cardiff gigging at the start of 2019, and he'd just signed up to TikTok, and he was like, "Yeah, this one's going to be really big." He goes, "I'm really going to commit to it." And he was trying to build his Instagram, and he goes, "You've got to sign up to TikTok." And I was like, "I don't know, another one." And I signed up there with him that weekend, and I obviously just never did anything. And then lockdown came, and he was literally had like a million followers. So
Put your
quickly.
videos that you've already done on Instagram. Just put them on TikTok. Why not?
Because it's a hassle. No, so you got on a bit later than that, Christmas time. But you've built up a good following.
Yeah, well, I sort of did it. I thought like I'd make an effort to do it. And so I thought all these funny ideas, and I'd done that thing where they weren't getting any views. I was like, I'll leave it. I can't bother with this. It's stupid. And I left it, and I went back. I left it for a week or so. I went back, and I had all these. I'd never even got a notification before.
Yeah.
And there were just all these like comments and
that's
follow.
nice.
I couldn't work out what had happened.
It's like sort of a cryptocurrency
Yeah.
of videos where you just left it, and suddenly you're like, oh, it's got millions of views.
And then I had it was a video. It was just blokes who pretend they're into football.
Yes.
And it was just an impression of someone shouting out things that.
Me, basically.
Yeah. It was like, "Come on, Man U, Hotspur, come on!" And it was just and people just sort of caught onto it, and then that sort of pushed me. I'm gonna try and think of more stuff. And then, so I was missing it low. Like I'd do one, and they'd like get nothing, but then you just get the odd little gem in there. And then the surprising one is that you do things that you can relate to. And you're surprised at how many people relate to it.
Yeah.
It's like the first one do you remember the one I did, blokes who pretend they're from London?
Yeah.
And do you know when you meet people and they go, when you're on holiday, wherever, and you go like, where are you from? They go, London. And you go, whereabouts? Well, just outside London.
Yeah.
Croydon.
Yeah, no, so like...
It's technically Greater London.
Is it? But it's not. Is it Greater London, Croydon?
Well, I mean, it's
not a London postcode.
it's a what is the postcode? CRO.
Well, that's I'm from Sutton. Which
Really?
is the London borough of Sutton. So if you're
London. Yeah, I mean, I do think Croydon would be counted as Greater London technically. But
I think what it is, if you meet someone who is from South London, and you say if I'm on holiday and I say I'm from South London, Sutton, they go, "You ain't from South London."
Well, no, I would say because I'm from South London. I'm from Tooting, Broadway, and I would say I know people. I know Sutton and Mitcham and all that because I went to school in Mitcham, and basically I would say. I would agree that that's South London. But there's people that would be from like Brixton would think you live in Guildford, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Sutton is a weird little part. I did my driving test in Sutton.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you pass?
I did, with flying colours.
Nice.
Or just
First
no
time?
major faults. It's called.
Was that a first time pass?
Yeah. I did it quick actually. How many times did you do it?
I think I definitely failed once and maybe passed my second, but passed my third, but my second I didn't go to. I didn't turn up.
My first driving test.
I don't know why.
We went clubbing in Wimbledon the night before. What's it called? Poonarnar.
I used to go there on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we went to. But they used to do this thing when they used to ID you. They used to like put it in like a bowl, and then they used to sort it and then give it back to you.
Yeah.
But me and my mates' provisionals got swapped. So I turned up on the day of my driving test with my mates. I opened, I just looked at my mate's face, staring at me. Oh no! So I had to cancel my whole.
Oh no!
Bumhole.
How can they put it in a bowl?
It does sound a bit swingery, doesn't it?
That's a rubbish system.
Poonarnars used to have floor to ceiling
Punani.
window, glass, mirrors on one side of the bar because it was tiny.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And it made it feel much bigger. But then when you were shit-faced later in the evening, you just walked into a mirror constantly.
It's only someone's bedroom.
Because there's loads. You used to start in the Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
And then go over to Poonarnars. But I remember there was a a pub in
End up
Wimbledon
in the
Chase
gutter.
called the Emma Hamilton,
Yeah.
and that's where we used to go when we was like. Just get a bus there from Sutton.
Yeah.
Because you could get in there when you were 15 and
There was
no one cared.
Wimbledon was great for that. I was chatting about this to somebody the other day. There used to be a pub called the Castle in Wimbledon Village. You could get in when you were 16 without ID, and then it got to a point when they started cracking down a bit, and everyone just got fake IDs. I knew a guy who
I
knocked them
tried
up for a
getting
fiver.
a fake ID, man. It didn't work though. We used to go to this club. Well, I never got in there. All of my mates used to go to this club called Slammers in Gravesend.
Slammers.
And we went down there, but you do your pills in the queue.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't get in. I'd have to go home.
Just pilled
like
up,
out my nut.
sitting on your bed.
Really friendly to the cab driver on the way home.
Wimbledon was a good party town back in the day.
I don't know what it's like now.
Well, I lived there. I moved there in adulthood for a bit, and then I resented the fact that it was a party town. Yeah. But like, because it is a lot of people from Sutton and Carshalton and places like come in there.
Yeah, but that's where I live, Carshalton.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Proper
Big there. I
South
don't
London.
know where though. Like some cricket club or something.
Was that?
Carshalton, yeah.
But I think they've got a theatre there.
My mum lives in Purley. It's near there, is it?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, not far.
Sort of, yeah. So that's, Carshalton, Wallington, Purley. There's places that people went from around there have never heard of.
Purley's quite nice. Where my mum lives, it's nice.
I got a puncture on my bike once in Purley. So this is just weird. Just recalling old stories from the old
you have to
stomping
do
grounds.
wheel it home.
So far. Like that was when, for a period of time, I lived in
Right in
Shirley,
someone's garden.
which is Shirley is just sort of
Nice
the other side of Croydon, near West Wickham. And we rode on my bikes with some mates all the way to Purley, and then we came down this. There was a quality hill that you could just zing it down next to a golf course, and I did a massive skid on my racer at the bottom, and the tyre popped. I had to walk it for hours home. It was a nightmare, bloody nightmare, guys.
Why didn't you find a bike shop and get a puncture repair
There wasn't
kit?
one in Purley Way.
Purley Way, what, the shopping capital of England?
The bike repair hub of the UK.
Mecca of puncture repair.
No, there was sadly not a bike repair
I
shop.
bet there's a Halfords there.
It could have been, but this would have been 1993 when I didn't have Google Maps to find one. We were just in a street, weren't we?
The big A to Z.
I saw a funny thing about that online the other day when people talked about how it was that thing like the old days were so great, and they just said, no one could find us. You didn't have a phone. No one could call you.
Yeah.
No one could check where you were. It's just we were
got on the wrong
and no one
train.
could you didn't have any maps or anything. It was just chaos.
On Saturday, I got on the wrong train, but my battery. I did Vauxhall actually. Then I went over to Top Secret. So I'm getting a train home from Charing Cross, but I got on the wrong train.
Oh.
So I only ended up in Charlton, which is
Yeah.
like 2 miles from where I live. But my phone was dead. I started to get like a panic attack. Like you had
Gotta
nobody.
sleep on the street.
Just got to start a new life.
The most recent experience I've had. I remember when I was in Australia and I did like rural farm work.
Yeah,
You had
yeah.
to go do that to get your
Did you
second-
live there for a bit then?
2 years, yeah. My
cool.
wife's Australian, so I met my wife over there. So but then
Where's she
before
from?
Sydney.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if she was from Melbourne, then our lives
I
would
was
have weird
born in
crossovers.
Melbourne.
I know.
Oh,
It comes
God,
out.
says it every fucking episode.
But no, I was doing like rural farm work, and it was literally you didn't
In
you'd go and do
Australia?
yeah.
Oh,
You do it to
wicked.
get your second year visa.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
it first year, then you got to do your rural.
Fucking
work.
hell, put that pile of shit over there. And you can stay.
You pull that cow out of that other cow's fanny
I'll let you stay.
for a visa.
But there was like
Milk
no
that
phone.
bull.
No, and they would literally walk into a pub and see who's there.
Yeah.
It was that type of vibe.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I like that vibe, but it's not like that now, is it? You got to ring, check, see where you
Yeah,
are. do
yeah.
that. But I did no phone, walk into it and just if it was whoever's at the bar, stop for a beer. It was that sort of.
It is, yeah.
What was that in the outback, was it?
It was at a place called Bowen, which is like Airlie Beach.
Oh, I've been to Airlie
yeah,
Beach.
sort of near there. Yeah. So it was. I did that for like 3 months, I think.
It is fun. I mean,
That's a good
I've-
experience.
Yeah, that's one of the things I know about.
Keeps you
That
fit
you
in
don't
the
think
sun.
about how it's just insane as a concept. Like, imagine doing that here if you
For
wanted
farm
to do a
work.
visa.
Work on a
like, yeah,
farm.
you've got like a biscuit factory for a
Battery hens. Got to spray them.
Got to work in an abattoir for a month.
Got to cut some pigs' heads off in front of their brothers.
Oh god.
And then we'll see if you can stay after that.
Yeah.
Can't be squeamish to stay in, mate.
I'd agree with that actually.
That's
no.
good though, because they get a bit of agriculture done, don't they?
Yeah. Do you know what? I really enjoyed it.
What's their logic? What reason do they?
I don't know. I think you're putting
that?
back into the country or something.
I think it is that. I think it shows that you're a commitment to staying.
Some old Aussie politician invented that, didn't he? Yeah.
But it is ultimately slave labour.
Yeah.
But so
you don't get paid for it.
Yeah, you don't got to be paid good.
Oh, really?
You get paid well. That's the thing. I think in Australia,
well.
generally, you get paid well.
Oh, mate, like they have like wages for hospitality jobs that you wouldn't believe. Like here, if you work just imagine you work in a little cafe, you ain't making a decent living. You're struggling to get by on rent and that. You can make a proper living being like a working in a coffee shop in Melbourne.
Well, I was working on a grill in Darling Harbour in Sydney, which where they have them like open grills. Cook, that people can see you cooking and stuff. And but I was doing like the night shifts. But I was enjoying it because I was getting on with the manager. Sort of like could have a few drinks while you're working.
What were you cooking like?
Just like steak sandwiches, just that. But I was rubbish at it as well. I wasn't really taking it seriously. I was there for a laugh, you know. And I got when people would come to me and they go, yeah, can I, the burger, can I have that without lettuce? And I just go, no.
Look at the menu again. It says lettuce.
It's such a simple thing. No, and they go like, what do you recommend?
I don't specialise in the no lettuce ones.
I couldn't bother to do anything either. So I was like, what do you recommend? I was like, the large chips is excellent today.
The microwave chips.
I really recommend
the microwave lasagna.
They love an outdoor grill, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like, do you know this? Have you been to Australia, mate?
Only when I was like a little kid. So
because in like just local parks have like outdoor barbecues on them that are just like communal barbecues. So if you're just in the park, you can just go up and use it.
I think they tried that here in one council.
They tried that here and it rained.
Yeah.
They did it in Sutton.
Yeah,
and then they just got graffitied over.
There is one in North
shitting
Greenwich. There's one in North Greenwich near the O2 actually, an outdoor. I've never seen it be used.
No.
I do. Did you go to Australia? Didn't you?
I was in Australia till July this year. Yeah.
Have you got a young daughter? Is that right?
Yes.
How did you find that with the flying?
The flying back was harder than flying
you got
there.
first class. You put her in economy.
Put her in a hold. But
with the cattle.
Just pretend she's a good dog. But no, she basically when we flew over, she was still a baby. Essentially, she was like 8 months.
Yeah.
She was crawling, but she wasn't walking. She was starting to make attempts at it, but so it's very easy. She was very in your arms. By the time we came back, she was essentially a toddler.
She's walking.
Yeah,
that's a nightmare, isn't it? Because they want to keep getting up.
How old are your kids?
6 and
Oh,
7. But when I first went, we had a newborn and like an 18-month-old. So my boy was the oldest.
You left them there?
Yeah, I left them there, yeah. But no, I flew back on my own with my boy.
Whoa.
But what I did, the first 9 hours...
And he was a newborn
asleep.
at the time?
No, he was about 18 months.
Oh.
But he was walking. But he fell asleep for the first leg and I thought, this is lovely. I'd watch a film.
Yeah.
Idiot, right? Because then he was just up for the next whatever out on the way from Dubai. And I was just,
when it's your turn to
because they want to keep walking, but they're not walking to anything.
Yeah,
they just want to keep...
constantly on the move.
You just got to keep going, And thankfully there was like a mum with like 2 kids there who said,
just
let me have him for a bit. I was like, you're an angel. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, but she didn't do it for long enough though.
yeah. Fucking selfish bitch. So that's nice of her to do.
It was,
that.
yeah. But I think she was doing it more for my kids' sake because she could see that I was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
It's funny as a dad, like when because I spent like you see mums with their kids, but I'm the only dad with my kids.
Yeah.
But they're like really nice to you, aren't they? Like, oh, what a nice dad.
Yeah.
You're spending so much time with your kids, like.
I'm not enjoying it.
But you're just doing what they're doing.
Well, yeah.
But mums don't get that.
No,
do they?
we get props. I go down the park all the time with Twyla, and during the day, and then obviously it's majority mums and nannies essentially.
Yeah.
And they all talk to you like you're a fucking god.
Yeah,
I'm just spending time with my child.
Yeah.
I'm not a nanny. This isn't somebody else's.
Are you right with talking to other parents and that though? Do you ever do that thing when you're like got your kids and you got that bloke who keeps looking at you like he wants to chat to you, and you keep running away from him? I don't want to talk to you, man.
I had such an overkeen one about 2 weeks ago.
You see him hovering,
Yeah.
catching his smile.
Fuck off, mate.
Just like dead-eyed straight through it.
Yeah. And then as soon as like my boy starts playing music, get away.
Yeah.
We're
Leave
not
the
being
fucking weird family alone, mate. But yeah, I had one who was so keen for a chat the other week, and I don't mind. I like a chat with another parent, but like it's this guy definitely had that vibe of I need a male friend.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to be a friend, mate. But I like a chat with nannies and all that. I'm not bloody out there fucking chirping up things.
That single mamas.
Yeah, since her mum died, it's actually been really tough.
Got so much sexual energy.
Yeah, I know. It's really
Nowhere to put it.
nowhere.
I think I'm the
Look
opposite. I think
after someone.
I'm like really antisocial in the school playground because it's like always like when I drop the kids off, it's like really early as
It's
well.
an awkward time.
I find it just like we just get in, and get out.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just- I
I'd
don't
say
know.
that school playground's different. School drop off, I imagine, because obviously that it's early as well.
Yeah.
Things, you've got shit to do. But like, if I'm in a playground in the afternoon, I ain't got nowhere else to be. Like, I'm literally just sitting around for an hour watching Twyla just repeatedly get on and off the swings.
Sort of depends who your kids befriend as well, because you can't like they're going to make friends and you don't know what the other kids' parents are like.
Yeah,
And, like
yeah,
they do
yeah.
it, and it's like one of them people who wears like my kid done it, and it was the mum. You know, one of them blue wolf cardigan things that they wear. Have you seen them? Like a hoodie with a picture of a blue wolf on it.
Grown-ups or kids?
Yeah, grown-ups.
Oh, right, no, I've not
You
seen
know, they sell them on
I've
markets.
turned round to get something.
Oh yeah, what I was going to say, they're really nice.
I want to know where she got it.
but you think, oh god, I've got to be friends with them now, and it's that sounds horrible. No, sorry.
No,
No,
I've been forced
yeah,
into
yeah.
that. But what about taking them to like parties and that, and you're just stuck? I like the parties where you just
Stand
rock.
in the corner facing the wall like the end of the Blair
I
Witch
didn't realise I
Project.
had to stay. I've got-
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm not too bad. I do like a chat now.
What about
and then,
school trips? Have you done that?
I haven't
yet?
done that yet. No.
Oh man, that's the tiringest thing I've ever done.
Oh,
I think I'd
going
quite
on
enjoy
one.
it.
Yeah.
I think like because I quite like a museum, and I think I'm at a point now with my boy where I'm trying to see what he's into.
Yeah,
yeah.
And work out what he's into, and I get more enthusiastic than him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's, like,
Yes.
and it's hard, but only because I want him to experience it and see if he genuinely does like
Have you
it. Do you know
tried
what I mean?
to before that decision? Have you tried to not force the issue, but have you sort of tried to lead him down any of your interests?
Well, he's on a
You porn mags on
yeah,
your
he's got
pillow.
that, yeah. Got a subscription to that. YouPorn. Just try all the flavours first. You know, don't just stick on YouPorn.
Got him on the vape.
Yeah. But no, he does football, Saturday morning football now.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Very good.
He's not basically. He's rubbish.
He
No,
is a
but
child.
Were you good at football?
no, but I enjoyed it. Like I weren't like to any level, but I used to enjoy it.
So no, then you mean?
No. But it's that thing of like.
Preferred netball.
But when he's playing with me, it's this thing when you got
was
when you're playing
rubbish,
in the park, he's having it, he's really enjoying it, and he's quite I was quite a shy kid, and he just sort of shuts down around other
Yeah.
kids. But I know there's enjoyment to be had there.
Yeah.
So you just can't be pushy. You just got to
You
be
also
like,
have
"Did
to
you
let
enjoy it?"
them find
Exactly.
their way.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
He's
not
good
be
at
on their shoulder all
He's
the
great
time.
at swimming,
That's good.
which is good. I quite like taking, and then when you take him and see him excelling at that. So I think that's what you got to do, innit? You got to just then push him towards
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Then if
he
you
finds his
Somebody was
passion.
telling me that swimming is like when you think, I think parents all have that slightly romantic view when their kid is remotely good at anything, that they're going to do this as a professional, they're going to be a professional
Yeah,
swimmer.
yeah.
Apparently swimming is one of the hardest they could go into as a parent. Because apparently swimming training's all done at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like it's not like football training where it's like
Sunday
weekends and all that.
afternoon. Yeah.
Swimming apparently, to become a great swimmer, the training is so intense and
Grueling.
time consuming that as a parent it's really hard.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is try and ward him off the swim.
yeah. You better do good at football, right?
Yeah. I was like, what's another one? What's an evening one? Get him into darts.
Yeah.
Go down Weatherspoons
Poker.
with him, mate.
Yeah. Darts and poker.
Poker.
Yeah.
Poker. I mean, if you could teach them poker early doors, it'd actually be probably quite a good life skill.
Yeah.
Hey,
To lose
it's
your
weird how it
house.
how it is a skill, though, isn't it?
If you don't like your house, just house, car.
Family, just to get early doors. But any other hobbies?
And my boy.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, though, isn't it? It's the bloody tablets, isn't it? I'll try and limit the time they're on it.
What tablets does he take?
Well, I'm trying to get them onto MDMA now.
Codeine.
Just dab it. It's just so much easier.
Get it up your router like the
Into
rest of
system quicker, doesn't
Put it on that bog seat and get it up your nose.
Idiot. And you're rubbish at football.
Because my daughter's too young to really have hobbies yet.
Yeah.
But it's funny just watching her start growing attachment to things. Like, you know what I mean? There's a cartoon called Bluey that she is obsessed with.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a good few months since, like, it's the first thing I can tell that she genuinely understands as like, this is my thing. And it's nice to see that sort of stuff coming together. But as yet, it's not like, she hasn't really got
She
any
start
hobbies or
juggling or
interests.
anything.
Yeah.
She on YouTube. If you started watching YouTube,
No.
if you don't start it.
I never. I mean, we don't have YouTube on in the house.
It's such an easy
I know it
break
sounds
for
weird.
a parent, though.
We don't
isn't
have
it?
YouTube on the telly, and we don't have a tablet, and I don't let her look at my phone.
Yeah,
so.
you're doing really. Just keep at that then, because once it's like they're hooked. That is like usually they basically it's people. I don't know if you've seen it. Like it's for kids, but it's like adults with a filming their kids doing stuff.
Oh right.
But there's no sort of like production value or sound engineering. So like,
That's your criticism.
But you know what I'm saying?
hear the wind
what I'm
in
saying
the
is if they're
background.
watching like Pixar in the next room, it just sounds not like whatever they're watching.
Italian
It sounds
in the background.
But when you've just got this like people with like really close to much shouting, just not you're like, oh, what are you watching?
My
You know what I mean?
nephews and niece are always just watching YouTube. Like literally, I go around to visit, and they've just got YouTube on the big telly, and they're just clicking on weird videos.
it's
I
mental.
don't
It's not good for
understand.
ADHD either. It like causes it, I
Yeah.
think, doesn't it?
And then there's that thing as well. But when they are going mad,
Just to clarify, that is not Dr. Julian has just made a diagnosis there. I don't know if we can.
Causes
I don't think we can
corona.
say it's definite.
COVID-20.
jab.
Get your jab, guys.
But it could. I mean, I'm sure there's some suggestion it can cause.
I feel like it. I think ADHD's gone spiked, hasn't it? Gone
Yeah,
right
yeah,
up.
Well, the thing is, they proved that it's bad for adults, so God knows what it does to children.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean? So like, but they say that the thing is it's the recommended videos is where the rabbit hole and
Yeah, yeah,
begins,
yeah,
innit? 'Cause
yeah.
it just keeps, they're not selecting anything. They're not going looking. Oh, I want to look up spaceships. It's just whatever comes up.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they're just stuck in this loop of watching it.
And there are benefits to it though. Like kids could just mad video editors now. They can just fucking sync to like it's just like
Yeah,
we never
yeah.
could do that our age when
True.
we were that age.
Yeah, but we could focus for more than
Yeah,
2
yeah.
minutes
We
at
can
a
run
time.
in a park though.
But that's the thing with them though. If you do take them out to a park, they love it.
Yeah.
So you got to just make, as a parent, you've got to make that effort.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Or
Just
like
to get
arts
away
and
from it.
crafts and stuff, Ren loves
Yeah.
and things like that.
And it's good watching them do that. Like,
Yeah.
And anything like, because my little girl, she's 6 and she does cheerleading. And she loves it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
And
so
it's
good. She's found.
Professionally.
Yeah.
For the NFL.
the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. You got in there early.
But that's good because that's
Yeah.
a sport, isn't it?
But it's just
That's gymnastics.
It's that thing where she's got that infused. She can't wait to go.
Oh,
she's
great,
excited to go. So it's good to see that.
Is it?
Sort of
Is
thing.
she doing flips and stuff?
Yeah, it's
Well, it's
roly-polies.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of my fears.
Handstands.
Yeah.
You know, when they
Can't
talk
work.
about helicopter parenting, that thing of like being behind them when
Yeah,
they're on
yeah.
the slide, like because obviously
You gotta
it's
let
quite
them get on with
really
it.
small. Like at the minute, I'm still in that paranoid thing. The other day, she's started to do this thing where she goes into like a downward dog position, and then I could tell she's starting to think about doing a forward roll.
Yeah.
And I kept waiting for it to happen. And the fucking first one she does it off her bed. Like, literally, I'm sitting next to her on the bed, we're playing, and she just does it. And I'm like, oh, she's doing that downward dog thing. And she just goes, way, and she's rolled off the bed. Fucking boom
Did
on
she
the
hurt
floor.
herself?
She didn't hurt herself, luckily. I mean, she cried, she landed, and it gave her a fright. But
Yeah,
luckily, she
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
land on her head or
I think
anything.
that's
She's learnt a lesson from that though, I bet.
Totally.
hasn't she?
But like, it is that thing of,
Don't cry.
but then you sort of, next time you see her go for it, you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
standing
yeah,
behind
yeah.
her.
I think it is an important thing.
There's
'cause
a balance,
I don't know whether
isn't
it's that if they hurt themselves or whatever, they do something, pause and see what their reaction
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
You know
Don't
what I mean?
say
You
you're
go,
right, you're right.
because then they'll just react. They'll know to cry
You
straight
see
away.
that when
You
a
know what I mean?
kid falls over and then he looks at his mum, he cries then, doesn't he?
Yeah. So you just got to go.
You've got to just stone.
You've got to go. You've got to really laugh.
But there's got to be a
point.
limit. If
Like
they hit,
Ivan Drago, if he does.
if they get hit by a car, to see what he does.
Give him a second.
There's insurance in it. He's not moving. No.
That's what I'm in that thing at the minute of being I hear about the negatives of helicopter parenting, but I understand that it is an instinct, man. You just like anytime I think she's gonna fall, I'm like,
It's because you have to. There's a balance, isn't it?
I
You
know.
have to.
I think there's this new type
Watch
of
out for
parenting
them.
that I witnessed the other day, and I said, "What's that about?" And it's a new thing where this woman's 2 kids were kicking the shit out of each other. Like it was getting bad. One of them was,
Did you film it?
yeah.
Landscape it.
I'm on my TikTok, man. Do you know what I mean?
Check out Jack's TikTok.
but it's this new thing. If you just, I don't know, but the way they explain it, you just ignore them.
Yeah.
Just let them get on with it. That's too far.
I
isn't it?
know,
You've got
yeah.
like, but the thing
Put-
is,
put
the
some
kids were
money
getting
on 'em.
It was on a plane as well. It was on a plane, so it was like everyone was like, "Sort your fucking kids out." Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
she was being well like liberal, like, you just gotta let them. No,
Not when you're on a plane.
Sort
Plane's
it out.
different,
You
yeah.
still have to put boundaries.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing. Like, there is some kid there. I went to the park last week, and fucking there was 2 kids just screaming. That was all they did for like We were like for about 10 minutes. They were just screaming, and they had a nanny with them, right? And the nanny was just sitting on a bench on her phone.
Fuck that
And
nanny,
they were
getting paid for that.
They were
She's
running
getting
around,
£15 an
screaming
hour.
at people, screaming at other kids. And then sort of like they were probably
Time
like
together.
5.
Yeah.
Me and Twyla are on the little kids climbing frame. She's going through a tunnel and having a nice time.
You're on the seesaw on your own.
And they come over.
Doing roly polies on the hill.
Wait to see if he cries.
They came running over to where they were way too big for this bit, right? And then Twyla's on there, and she sort of naturally is inquisitive and stands up to say hello to them, and they just went in her face. She starts crying, and I look over at the nanny, who's just sitting there, and she just goes, "Don't scream, guys."
What would you do?
And that was, I did an accent there. I don't know if that's allowed. She was Eastern European, but that's not the reason. But I sort of just gave her a look like, and then sort of Twyla was upset, so I just went, "Oh, let's get out of here, man." They'd been doing it for 10 minutes and doing my head in.
Yeah.
So I was like, "We'll just go to."
Are you not allowed to scream in their face?
I mean,
No, it depends if they're looking.
I mean, you're allowed to do anything, really, within reason. But,
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to
light
lower
up.
myself to their
I
behaviour.
would.
Yeah.
Instantly.
That you do. I mean, that is
Burn
one
them.
thing you learn.
Just punt a kid.
You never think you'll like dislike kids.
Oh, I know.
But when
I
you
will.
become a parent, you genuinely start hating other people's
When
kids.
I was
man.
a kid, I saw adults grab hold of kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would never do that.
Paedophile.
But
Yeah, like-
I reckon you definitely do that thing like the playground thing where you look at a kid and you think that kid's a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
And then you see the dad and you go,
Yeah. yeah.
this guy.
You can not like other little kids.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
You look at their face, you think, oh.
There's definitely an element of like,
You
you're
little-
born a knob.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? I think there's-
definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You can imagine them as an adult being an arse.
But
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
But it's got to be. I mean, I do think there's elements of instinct and stuff. But the majority of it's got to be learned behaviour.
Yeah.
It's how you nourish it, though, isn't it? If you've got a dickhead potential
Yeah.
and then you're brought up by a dickhead,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah,
just
yeah.
enhance that.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? But you can break away from it, I suppose.
Yeah. I've got friends who I think if they had kids would make such dickheads. Do you know what I mean? We've all got it, mate. It's just like, please don't.
Let's
have
not bring
kids.
me into this.
It's too late for you, mate. You've already done it.
27.
But no, you know, it is that thing. Some people just I don't think will make good parents,
No.
and they'll think they make good parents because you know they think being a parent is just about like just providing. Just,
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's about not turning them into fucking wankers, isn't it? As well.
Sometimes people have kids, though, and it changes them, doesn't it?
Yes.
That can work.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Changed me.
Yeah, well, I've
Until
I was-
You had less money after.
Yeah, changed me into being poor. But I suppose I was like I was really
Yeah,
young,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
I?
yeah.
So it kind of like,
It's the partying is the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I carried on for a bit when I had kids.
Really?
I kept trying to go. I was like 25, I think.
take them with you.
Yeah, but I sort of like I feel.
Just on pills and with a papoose.
Dancing in a club gurning.
I went in one of them sort of drug dealer bags.
yeah.
Baby and ease.
Do you want to ease me? Do you wanna ease-
But I've actually not had a drink now for 3 months.
Really?
Well,
I've had to just knock it on the head, man, because
You must be thirsty, mate. Do you want a bit of water.
yeah.
Well, how come? Like,
Just because, I think it's just that thing of like, well, like kids is one thing, you know what I mean? But
was
it's that thing of like sessioning, isn't it? Like, I don't hang around people who have a couple of beers and leave it. It's just that
I know, what's that about?
session culture.
But
innit?
I think you do lose your. I definitely have noticed, and it might come back, but my drinking capacity, I now get drunk so much quicker.
Yeah.
Since I've had a baby because
you drink faster,
because I'm trying to get rid of my problems. quicker.
push them feelings down.
No, because like I think my base level of tiredness is higher.
Yeah.
So it used to be, it would take me, you know, on a big night out, it would take me about 200 quid to get shit faced.
Yeah.
Now I have about 4 pints and I'm all slurring and
Yeah.
like fucked up. Like, and I remember it happening to mates of mine who had kids quite early, where they went from being party animals to just being the guys you'd be sort of getting a taxi home for at 9 p.m.
You're a nice drunk though, aren't you? Like when you're drunk, you're just you, but just a bit more slurring.
Yeah, on the whole, yeah.
Like
I've
if
had
I
times
drink,
where
I
turn.
got like a switch saying like it's like the mask.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like Jekyll and
so
Hyde.
green, start dancing and going, somebody stop me.
Somebody stop! You only had one shandy, mate. Somebody stop me! Alrighty then.
But no, it's the session culture, isn't it? It's like, I was bad. I was like the midweek guy. Do you know what I mean? Straight from work.
Yeah.
I'll go for a couple. and it just gets out of
And
hand.
that would
you know what
turn
I mean?
into a 2 a.m.
Yeah.
rocking up
Yeah. But that's the thing,
brothel, not really.
I just did a recent video and it was like about the like the after party when you go back
I
to someone's
saw that
house.
video,
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
funny.
And it's all but it's mad how relatable everyone has found that.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
realise that everyone's doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like how big that sort of culture is of like, you know, having a few beers,
Yeah.
getting a bit of thing, and it's like everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. I don't think people. It's not out there in the. It sort of looks like taboo, but people don't sort of like everyone's
It's
doing
a-
it.
it's a
Do you know what I mean?
mainstream
It's like when they do
thing.
like, oh, Kate Moss has been caught doing coke. Like, what, the millionaire
Yeah,
supermodel?
yeah.
Like, oh, what a shock!
Weird
Fucking
if,
hell!
it'd be weirder if they're not.
Yeah, do you know what I
Like,
mean?
what's the matter with them?
Like, still be
Yeah.
like plasterers are doing it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
But that, like, I would say that when you have, I've only had a couple of those nights that end up, you know, horribly late.
Yeah.
Like the guilt you have
Oh.
once you're older and you've got kids is so much bigger than before. Like I used to
100%.
have that thing. Like I reckon once I got into my 30s, I would have that moment. Like if it was like 5 a.m. where I'd be like, oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
And it was that would be the level of guilt, and I'd
Yeah.
be a bit shit the next day.
have a shit day and then get over it. But I think I
But
think
now-
Now you walk
Yeah,
to
they
a
say, like-
church,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
start falling to your knees.
hangovers get worse.
I
when you
swear
hit
I'll
30.
sign up to be a priest.
But I think it's your responsibility is like
Totally.
more. So that just makes it worse.
Yeah. And also, that kids are not going to respect your hangover.
Yeah. No,
You've
exactly.
got to be
They
a
don't
dad
give a shit.
regardless.
Just leave
Yeah.
Dad alone for a minute.
Yeah,
He's had a bit of a rough night.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, it's not. They jump on
Sorry,
your
Dad.
head.
Sorry, we'll be going to play
Yeah, yeah,
quietly in
Yeah.
the bedroom.
Yeah.
Quite literally, they'll put their bum on your head. But it is so. Yeah, I think it's good. It's nice having a. Yeah. Are you reckon you're off it for good? Or
I
you
don't,
gonna-
I don't like putting too much of that on it because
One
I
day
just
at a
it is that sort of thing. I'm not like I don't think I'm like a alcoholic or anything like that. But it's just that thing
That's
of
what
like
alcoholics say.
But it's
That's actually why we brought you in.
Yeah, but do you know what that thing though? If you
Bring
do
out the
that,
bring 'em in.
get bundled into the
Priest
van.
and the doctor come in.
Yeah. But no, I think it's if I said to myself, oh, I will have a drink one day, I'll just do it today then. Because
Yeah,
my head
yeah,
will just
yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah.
well,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just that thing of,
It's not needed. To
sometimes
drink,
that's
though,
the
is it?
thing. I mean, it is. And it also is that thing when you're with people or are getting pissed up and you're not, you just find them annoying.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh, man.
Yeah, it's just annoying. You know what I mean?
That-
Coke's the worst if someone's on coke.
Mate.
Yeah.
I know, and they're like,
Fucking
they're
hell.
like, and white bits
White
on
bit
their
on
mouth.
white bit. Oh my god!
I vomited twice because of that. Someone talking to me. In white bits on their mouth, and I'm
It's the
pretending to listen.
grossest thing you can have. It's the sort of. It's like red wine teeth.
Oh.
Them sort of just like drink scars.
Those
Close
white
to you,
bits, though, are the
repeating the
worst.
same stuff. Because me and you, though, innit?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just me
yeah.
and you, though, innit? Me
You're
and you,
like,
innit?
actually,
Yes,
it's
mate,
you and
me
you.
and you.
It's you and you, mate.
You know what me and you are like? I've only just met you, mate. I don't fucking...
It's gross. Although I will say one thing I have unlocked since being a
Big
dad.
box of coke.
Got the treat box out. That lock's staying
Sweetie
off.
time.
There's a secret house down the road.
Streak of coke dungeon.
No, I've is the ability to have a couple of beers. Like I never
Yeah.
I used to be that person of like I would look at people who would be like, I just had 2 beers, and I'd be like, you fucking.
It's weird when
idiot.
You
people
mean
say
like
that.
a couple of pints in a pub? sort
I
of
could
thing?
literally now. I could do a gig,
And then jump in your car and go home.
but I could just have. I could literally go. If somebody said, "Do you want to go for a beer?" I could go and have 2 pints and then just go home and be like, "That was nice and relaxing."
I tried
and
doing that for
social."
about a decade. I just never.
Some people
could do
can't.
it.
I never thought I would be able to, but I have unlocked that skill. I'm very happy.
That's good.
But it doesn't. But I also don't need to either. Like like last night, I did a gig and just went straight home.
I love we're calling it a skill.
It is. It really, it just loses your
It's a bit
inhibitions,
hard.
isn't it?
Years of training.
But I will say, as somebody who never thought I'd be able to do that, I was always somebody who was like, I'm either drinking or not drinking.
I'm the
If I have
same.
1 pint, I'm going to want 100 pints.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to be able to do it does feel like
That is
a
good.
magic power.
Well, I've got on the low to non-alcohol beers because it just that was the problem with not drinking, going out and just not feeling a part of
They've
it.
got much
Yeah.
better in
Yeah.
terms of like you don't look. I remember. Did you ever encounter a beer called Caliber?
Yeah.
It was the original
Still around,
zero alcohol beer from like the late 90s onwards. and it had the most disgusting bottle. Like, you stood out like a sore thumb. If you're in a pub drinking one, everyone would be coming up and going, "What's that shit?" Like that.
It's zero alcohol,
whereas,
losers.
like Heineken Zero and all them ones now look like you're just having a beer.
Well, Heineken is, I think, it's probably the best one.
Right.
That's the most where you feel like you are actually having a
Yeah,
beer.
yeah, yeah.
And I think there is a little bit of a placebo effect as well,
Absolutely.
where you feel a bit more loose and a bit more chatty. 'Cause
Someone
that's the
spiked
point.
it.
That's the point I want to get to when I'm drinking, though. Be loose and chatty. But I take it too far. I get to. I don't get aggressive or anything like that. But it's just that thing of. I wake up next day and I
Start
just go,
slapping
what was
a
I
few
saying?
asses.
I think last time I saw you.
3 pints of slapping a few waitress asses.
I saw you in the Bedford.
Oh yeah,
I was
you
battered.
were hammered.
And the next day I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I saw Julian last night. I was like, what was I saying? I can't remember what
That's the
I
You
was saying.
weren't really. I didn't notice that you were hammered.
My brother was with me, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
battered. Like, he makes a nuisance of himself,
Yeah.
my brother.
I was pissed
No, you were both.
last
Oh, really?
week.
I didn't sit with my head then.
That I seemed notably drunk last Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right.
But you were a nice drunk though.
Because
You were
I was
you were
knackered.
slurry.
Yeah, I was knackered, right? But when we got to the gig, like,
You were dancing naked.
and like, I just had about 6 pints during
Yeah,
and after the
healthy.
show. And I
mean, that would fuck me up.
I realised just sort of like when we were sitting there after the gig, I was like, I am pissed. Like, it's just really hit
I
me.
thought you slept in, so I tried.
Yeah, I know. You
and
no,
they-
I was up. I was up. And
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
for a nice walk down the beach. But that was a mixture of like putting pints away. But I was just so tired before the show that I remember after about 2 pints, I was like, I'm a bit fucking.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone to my head.
That's a lovely gig, wasn't
It
it?
was lovely. And then I just necked another 4 or something, and I was wankered.
That's fair, but it does get you something. But I love that 3-4 pints going for a walk. You know, like when you go into a shop. You're hello, mate. How are you? I used to do this thing where like
Everyone's best mate.
during-
The world's
during-
like a floaty cartoon.
Yeah.
place.
During lockdown, it was like I was doing like 12 beers, something like that. But I'd lie to myself and go 4 at a time. Go get 4,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
So three
and that's a very
separate
sort of like
sessions.
chat. Like, hello, Raj, how you doing, mate? You're right.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
for 8 beers, going for the 8 beers, like, hello, Raj, how are you, mate? And then by the end of it, I'm
12 beers. It's like my name's
singing
not
to
Raj.
him. yeah.
It's Tim.
yeah. But yeah, by the time you go for the last, it's like 10. Oh, he shuts in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ooh, did he
Better
go
get
down
another 100.
Yeah.
Do you do any coke? No, anyone can get some Mandy.
But yeah, that's the. But that was lockdown though. I mean, that was when it got.
I mean, drinking spiked in lockdown, didn't it?
Yeah, that's one thing I've never really gone in for is drinking at home, which is I think that's always been my
Slippery slope.
saving grace, not being somebody who will sit at home and just crack a few beers. I've got mates who would come in from work and like sort of I've got mates who are like gas engineers and shit, and they'd come in at like 8 p.m. They'd crack like just sit in their little man's den,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just do
yeah.
like 7 cans, 8 cans
Standard.
of lager, and then go to bed, and that was like their nightly thing.
Oh,
And
100.
you're
That's what. Well, because like I'm a tradesman.
So bad
You stop.
for you.
You get in the van on the way home. You'll just stop, like an off license. You know, the blue bag full of you get
yeah,
like
yeah.
6 Kronenbergs for a £5
Go and find a car
on the way
park.
home. Just
Packet of condoms.
Yes. Go home on your own.
Have a nice posh wank
Posh wank and Kronenbergs for me.
God.
candle.
Yeah, that the blue bag of
The blue-
cans.
yeah.
Shit. That is it's a bleak feeling, isn't it?
It is. Well, yeah.
I don't miss it, man, at all, drinking.
No.
At all.
I'm more now. I'm more that way. But at the first, I miss it. Now I have little glimpses of. I met up with a mate in Soho. Went for like a drink on Saturday night, and it was quite nice getting the train home.
What did
thinking
you drink?
I drank. But these were 0.05 beer. They were really nice actually.
So you relapsed.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But it was quite nice being on the way home, thinking I'm on the way home.
Homeopathic.
That's what I mean. It's
I'm not going to have a
nice.
hangover tomorrow. This is
Yeah.
this is nice. Do you know what I mean? I had a nice time, and I remember it. Do you know what I mean?
That's the bad thing. Julian set his alarm to go off.
Sorry.
Weird time for an alarm.
It wasn't an alarm. It was a
It
call.
was. Oh, it was. All right. Okay.
Yeah. I better mute it.
Yeah, but I did feel rough after that Margate.
What was it? Was 6 pints of what?
Vodka.
It was some Beavertown thing or something, but like it might have even been 7 pints, but basically it was just enough that I went from like tired and being a bit chatty and to just like the last pint, I was just I need my bed. I was all,
Make some food, didn't it? Make food. You get a
But I was
little
staying
noisy.
up in a room upstairs
Oh,
in
right.
the venue, so I just crawled into bed and went straight to sleep. And I woke up and I was pretty dusty in the morning.
Yeah.
I went on a big walk across the beach to get to the station.
Got a hangover
It's
cure?
nice.
You got anything you think does the trick? or
No,
not?
well, I think
Another beer.
No, well, man, apparently that works, but it's never. I've always been too like.
There's an end to it though. It can't go on forever. Can it?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I did find though? You know Sudafed,
Yeah.
where it sort of clears them passages there.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because I think a lot of hangover is that sort of that heady feeling, isn't it? Where you're like you're all puffy and all that.
Diarrhea's good.
Well,
as well.
Diarrhe's the
Yeah.
sort of.
Before you go
you've
to
got to do
sleep.
it, but that's one you've got to remember
That's
to
the
do.
last thing. You're not really responsible when you're drunk
No.
to do these things, are
Exactly.
you?
That is the
A line of
chances it
coke in bed. You're gonna fucking get a Diarrhea, start mixing it up. It's 300 mils, yeah. Start shaking that up.
Yeah, it's I think that's probably the only real one that works for me is if I get
Yeah.
ahead of it early doors. But if I wake up, normally I don't wake up hungover. I'm not one of the people that wakes up and is like I normally wake up and
Still
get up
drunk.
for an hour and then
Yeah.
suddenly go, oh right, I'm gonna go throw up in the toilet.
You're like, wow, I don't get hangovers anymore.
Yeah,
I'm really happy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're,
kidding
I'm
yourself.
drunk.
Yeah, I do that and go to work. Like, you start like loading up the van. You're like, this is a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah.
you just
Just had a great night. I'm having a great morning. Life's great.
completely lying to yourself.
Suddenly it just spanks you in the face.
Yeah, honestly, I feel absolutely fine. But that's what I was finding. Like, it was session on the weekend. You feel dreadful Monday. Tuesday's probably even worse sometimes. And you don't feel better till Thursday.
Yeah,
and you think,
yeah.
I'll have a beer then.
Yeah,
And you spend your whole life in that cycle
Yeah.
of just like. But now it's like you can maintain a level of. And it's easier to find out, like, if you're sober, you know when you're just tired. Or
Yes.
something. But when you're hungover and there's all the other elements.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
And,
If I got the flu.
and I think that's the thing as well with people like going, I feel depressed. I think it's a come down, mate.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
So-
loads.
do you know what I mean?
But
Like-
they think they're bipolar and go,
yeah,
get some
no,
medicine.
it's a
Yeah,
dodgy
yeah.
gear, mate. I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
even if you
coke
just
that
have a few beers a day.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then if you're talking about your mood being like,
Yeah.
it's definitely
You definitely have
gonna
to
be
look at that stuff
influenced by-
first, don't you?
Yeah.
Got to give yourself a fighting chance, basically.
Yeah.
Clear head and find out what is going on.
Yeah,
Otherwise
yeah,
it's just-
But anyway, that's
Look
enough
after
booze
yourself,
chat.
guys.
We actually didn't talk about any
Don't
comedy.
drink
We're going
and
to talk
drive.
about comedy. So
yeah.
how long have you since you started doing stand up?
only a few months.
It's exciting.
How many
August.
gigs have you done?
I don't know. I think I'd say around sort of
Quite a few, then.
20-ish, something like that.
And how have you found going from? Because a lot of people do it the other way around.
Yeah.
Where they start stand up and then they start doing videos and stuff.
Yeah.
How has it been going from the other way?
Well, it's the reason I've done this because like a lot of people say, oh, you could just like invite your audience or your following and do it that way. But I think with stand up, it's that thing of the skill is going into a room where you've got to gain their trust.
Yeah, yeah.
haven't
That's
you? Do
where
know
you
what I mean?
learn how to do it properly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
So that's the point of like.
But it can, I suppose it can work. I'm trying to think of an example of somebody who's done online stuff that then started touring.
Well, Mo Gilligan.
I mean, he was doing stand up.
He
as
was
well.
already, yeah.
But he was newish when he started to blow up.
But I think that's a good way of doing it.
I think so. Just
Learning
because,
the
'cause
craft.
that's the proper craft of it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Do you know what I mean? And then you're sort of.
And then when you do want to pull your audience in on a tour or something, you can.
Because I think I do get like people in messages and that, oh, let me know when you're doing a. I know at the moment I'm only doing like open spots.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? I don't really want to invite them to that, and do you know what I mean? So it's just I'd rather just go to a group of people that don't know who I am or don't
Die on your arse.
die on my arse.
Go and get
But
go and
I've
have
had that,
a
though.
relapse.
I experienced that. I did that. Where I did like the first two or three. I was like, this is all right actually. And then that one that hits
always
you in
the
the
way.
face where it goes.
Always.
I'd like, where you got one of them jokes you think, this one always works.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
that about
yeah.
2 jokes in, nothing. I thought, oh no.
I think everyone's
And
done
afterwards, there's that thing where I was with another comedian and someone come up to me and went, oh, mate, you was really good. And looked at me and went, see you later.
Yeah. I always get that. Like, I'm the other guy though. But no.
I always if I'm because people, I do think audience members, they just like going up and telling the person who their favourite one. Yeah, I mean they love going up and going, oh, I fucking loved you. 'Cause there'll always be one person that resonated more with them. If you're standing next to them when that happens, they might have actually enjoyed you, but they want to tell this person.
Yeah.
They loved
Yeah,
it.
they related or
The fun thing to do is while they're singing the praises of that person, is just to literally go, I'm right here, mate.
yeah.
Just for a laugh. And then you can laugh and break
Yeah.
it. But when you do it, you watch them go, oh, sorry, I thought you were really funny. And just then you can just like go, like, I'm only kidding.
I always find that's the thing about them though, when they tell that person, they can see you and they know you've been on, but they can't even force themselves to lie.
Yeah.
Say you was good as well.
How
do you
was
know what I mean?
how was so that was a bad gig, was it?
Yeah, it just
Well, you've had one sort of really
that was
bad.
like the worst of note.
And how
do you
did
know
that
what I
make you feel afterwards?
Getting back on the booze. Yeah.
No, because I remember like mine was about 12 gig.
Right.
I remember people used to talk about dying and stuff. I used to think,
Yeah.
well, just say something funny.
Yeah.
Why? How can you die?
Yeah.
And I did a gig in Fleet for Mirth Control, and the first act was bombing. And I was like, I was doing the middle like 5 or 6. And I was like, God, I'm going to smash this, man. And I got up and just died so hard. So I had to drive all the acts home after, so I had to sit and wait. I was sitting near the toilet, and everyone who come past was going, "Oh, I thought you were brave." You know what I mean? So it was. But on the way home, I was just like, I didn't go to work the next day. It proper shook me.
Yeah, but I think it's all about you because you didn't record. I'm still recording them and listening back to it, and I realised where I went wrong there. I was doing this thing where I had like jokes, and I was reading it like a list. Do you know what I mean? With no sort of like.
Yes.
And then I was after that. I've worked out right. You've got to be more in the room.
That's good. That's the learning, isn't it?
Yeah, because it just felt a bit like, and here's another joke, and here's another joke.
And it was present.
Yeah, that's it. And
I think you're writing stuff that is. How's it working in terms of? Because obviously you write stuff for your video, so you come up with the idea for
Is
video.
there overlap?
Yeah, you basically then while you're doing that thing, and that could also work as stand-up.
if I think of things, because the thing is, I've found out with like online stuff, say like observational stuff. Say you had to write a joke, you'd get the observation, and then you'd make jokes around that for stand-up. With online stuff, you just have to tell people the observation.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So you just act out the observation. And people just get it straight away because it's definitely a different medium. Because all you're trying to do is get their attention.
Yeah.
So it's just got to be as quick as possible. So the sort of way I do it is whatever it says on screen is the setup.
Yes.
And then whatever
You'll have
you do
a
after that
title, won't you?
Yeah, and that's like a setup. And then whatever you're doing is the punchline.
Yeah. I suppose you don't need to give it the context. That's the thing with stand-up. You need to set everything up. You need to do all the setup and make the setup interesting and funny enough to warrant the punchline.
Yeah.
And do you do it all on your phone?
Yeah.
He's got a crew just following him around 24 hours
The BBC come over.
Sorry, the crew are just waiting outside.
But I think, and that's the thing I've learned is it's the quickest you can do it. I mean, you do have some anomalies where I've done like 40-second clips and they've done really well, but that's a long clip. 40 seconds.
So what do you try and keep it to?
I'd be like 20 is like the sweet spot.
Really?
It's like the sweet.
Wow.
If you can get
For TikTok particularly.
I'd say so because so there's one where you can see I did one where it was like things a British bloke abroad.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It was just my impression of four things that a British bloke would say abroad. So you'd go, so the viewer would look at that, read British bloke abroad. By the time they read that, I've said something.
They get it straight away.
Then they're in. Do you know what I mean? And then
yeah.
it's and it's that sort of thing of they're just, you got to picture them. They just want to be entertained quickly, don't they?
Yeah.
They're not sitting down for an hour-long special.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? They just want to go
credits opening it.
And that's the thing as well. When you are doing it, I mean, when I first started, you'd get like one that just bombs and no one watches it and all that. And you're thinking yourself, oh, everyone hated that. I'm just crapping. And all they've done is gone like that and forgotten about you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
You're not
It's way
even in
bigger to you
Yeah,
than it
do you know
is
what I mean?
to them.
They don't give a shit. But,
Yeah.
but at the beginning, but you do get thicker skinned and you get the trolls and you get all that. And then that at first, that's like, oh, it really gets you. Do you know what I mean? But
also,
then,
I'd say it would probably be harder for you to take the bad comments, having not had years of stand up.
Yeah.
Like, when you've had years where you've had bad gigs, you've dealt with shitty hecklers, you've had like
You're
bad
very brave.
reviews, and all
After a
sorts, you know.
3.5 hour drive.
Yeah. Like actually, I think I don't take any social media bad comment bad at all.
I know now I'm at the point where I find it funny.
Well, yeah, I think you
yeah.
probably had to go through sort of a baptism of fire with it.
My favourite one they do is they go, they'll comment, I say, I think this video is really funny. I just think the rest of them are shit. it's like oh, I think what they've done, because these people who write this, they follow me as well.
Yeah,
They've obviously got this thing where they go, they're intrigued, they watch it, so they go, I'm going to hate this as well. And then they go, oh, I found that funny.
Yeah.
I've got to let them know that I only find that one funny. It's weird mentality.
So
do you know what I mean?
much weirder.
And then you get like just crazy stuff. Like I did a sketch. It was just James Bond in Starbucks, and it was a light-hearted sketch. And then you look at the comments below, and there's like a big debate about like the transgender community or something. And you're thinking like, how have you got onto this? Like it's just people are just ready just to.
But that's
to,
good
do you know
for
what I mean?
you though, because the more
that just
interaction, the more
exactly.
people see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's just weird.
Because they want engagement on TikTok, so the more people in the comments, the more they'll put the video.
As they say, it only benefits me, but I can't understand that mentality of not liking something so much where you have to let the person know. Like,
I don't think they.
Especially on an app where you can literally just go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like writing a message is so much more effort than just moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
Hurt
The thought process.
People hurt people, man.
Yeah,
That's deep.
that was brilliant.
Nice. And yeah, people just want to argue about culture war shit and
They love it.
on everything.
Fuck them all.
Fuck 'em all.
I've never done Twitter. I think I'm on it, but I've done about 7 tweets about 9 years ago. I've never heard anyone say
put your video
you should
on
get. Yeah, but you should get on Twitter. It's really good.
Yeah.
Everyone just moans about it.
I know. When it first
I mean,
started, when it first started Twitter, it was fun.
Yeah.
And that genuinely was. It was like,
Just silly
people
jokes.
were saying, get on there. There's some really funny people,
Yeah.
and it was silly jokes, silly observations.
Yeah.
Follow me.
And it was great. And then it just got ruined by people thinking it was like a sort of
a platform for
platform,
anyone giving a fuck
for your
about how they're
opinions
feeling.
or for your
It's
thoughts.
just the
and
way
for your,
it is now, though, isn't it? But what do you guys think about TikTok? This interests me because I think it's one of them social medias that like. It's kept the stigma about it for the longest. You know when things first come out where people go, oh, Facebook, that's for kids. And then they get on it and they think, oh, this is quite good. Is TikTok still that thing where people are like, oh,
I think
roll your eyes. You know what
I think
because
about
it's so
dances,
extreme.
I suppose.
Like, because it's such a boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. With like, even like with Twitter, when it used to just be jokes, obviously it'd be a joke and then you'd move on.
Yeah.
But there is also links. Here's a news story. Here's a film review. Whatever. The links are.
It is immediate news. It's good for that. Yeah.
Whereas, and I think Facebook is where people still. It used to be people catching up with old friends. And then that's become old people moaning about Brexit. Or whatever.
yeah.
Instagram had the old. It's just a photo of your lunch. Stigma.
But then you get into it though, don't you?
But I think because TikTok, I think everyone knows it's the scrolling. There's a video, and I think people are worried that it's the most sort of like ADHD type one. That's why I think, and also I do think there's an element of suspicion because it's Chinese created, and I reckon there are people going, "It's the Chinese government, mate. They fucking want to get in our brain."
But they've got reels as well, don't they?
Also, as if that's every social media wants to get in your brain and keep you on it forever. So they're all bad, really. But I genuinely think with TikTok, it's because of the interface. Plus, the Chinese are involved, so people
it's
are
great
paranoid.
we had all that in lockdown, though.
Yeah, because you've got reels as well. 'Cause that's what I was saying. You get some people, they'll go like, they're like, oh no, I'm on Instagram, but I don't do TikTok. It's like, oh yeah, you've gone right back to nature.
Yeah.
Like, oh, get you.
You hippie.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like
tree hugger.
But I do feel it. If someone says to me, "Oh, are you a TikToker?" I still have that thing of feeling ashamed if I say,
But that
"Yeah."
happens.
Do you know what I mean?
YouTube gets that as well. YouTuber still is said with a sort of.
Well, it feels like a young,
YouTuber.
like a TikToker, doesn't it? But
I do think as well, like, because I do it on Instagram as well, and I do feel like if I do like material, I sort of not prefer, but I feel like on sort of that sort of age demographic when they sort of get the jokes a bit more on Instagram. And it's just,
I do think it's just it is an age thing. Facebook is old people. Twitter is now essentially just angry people. Instagram would be your sort of 30s.
Yeah, it feels more like official. It feels like like sort of.
It does feel a bit more like you're just like I'm at a lovely restaurant, guys.
You
could see
but TikTok just is entertaining.
young.
And I think as well, TikTok, you've got to be comfortable on camera because doing a video and doing a photo, it's quite a bit different. Isn't it? So you've got to have that element of a bit more of a sort of show offy. Do you know what I mean? And maybe people think like, this guy thinks we should have to listen to him. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing about it, you know. But as I say, I don't really. But the reason I don't watch it much is because if I like something, like subconsciously I get too heavily over influenced by it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'd get in the comments and then like someone say, "Oh, you're just acting like that," and I go, "Oh, yeah, I am a bit actually." Do you know what I mean? And and I'm really, you know that the guy on Instagram,
for that feedback,
Alistair Green, he's brilliant. Have you seen him?
I know him. Yeah,
he's so. But I can't follow him. Because he's so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That I'll start doing.
I did a few.
You know what I mean?
I did some little videos during lockdown one, like some dumb little sketch video stuff, and I definitely realised that a couple of them I didn't put up because I realised they were too much like Al.
Yeah,
like they just were. He's in my head. Like, when I think of any like a video of a bloke talking to the camera, it's almost like he's the language.
He's such a good actor. He's always been a good actor.
He's a good actor.
I had to act in a scene with him once, and I did no acting training, and we were just having a laugh. And he started acting, and I just was so shit. It just exposed me.
I've just seen the time. We've got to wrap up in a minute. Time's flown by.
Quick, isn't it?
Absolutely flown by. I mean, not for
no, it's been a great listen. I really enjoyed your coffee videos. I don't know if you still do them.
Well,
yeah.
I did an advent calendar series of me making opening my advent calendar last December every day, and it was a different coffee bean.
I saw it. I watched it. Yeah.
And basically, I've a few people have been messaging me saying, "What are you doing it again?" And exclusive, guys. I'm not doing coffee this year. I'm actually. I mean, this is after. It's ironic after this big chat we had about food. I was gonna do a craft beer every morning, but I've changed that because that's gross.
Every morning,
but it's even. I think it's a bit better. It's a bit more manageable, but it's as bad. So my wife has curated. And I'm making the advent calendar out of toilet roll holders, but 24 miniature bottles of alcohol.
Okay.
So like she's bought them online.
You do it in the evening.
Because I think that's not as funny as the So every day I'm going to open my advent calendar. It's going to be a different spirit or liqueur or something, and I've got to decide how to drink it and film it. So it might be, if it's a tequila, I've got to just drink a tequila. If it's gin, I might make a nice gin and tonic. You know, if it's something I can make a cocktail with, it'll be a cocktail. But it won't be every morning. Like, I'm going to do some of them in the evening or afternoon.
Try do it on reels.
And January you go to
Reels.
rehab.
Yeah, because you get more reach with it then.
Oh, really? I've never done a reel.
Because it's the same sort of. It's like an hour where they try and push it out more.
Okay.
Could he put it on both?
Yeah. If you do a reel, it's the same as basically a TikTok.
It's like a TikTok, yeah, on Instagram. But I think
Does it go on your actual feed as well?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's 30 seconds or a minute now.
You can do a minute on Reels.
Okay.
You can do 3 minutes on TikTok. Now, can't you?
Yeah. So I
Really?
think it's well worth doing it because
Maybe I'll put it on TikTok as
people to see
well.
it.
And actually
Definitely.
do TikTok
Yeah.
for a bit, but not watch it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want my brains to go. I'll do that, but that's going to be it. So I'm going to be basically drinking 24 different spirits
in the morning.
and
Film it all in one day.
I am planning on doing a lot of them in the morning though. 'Cause there's something I think quite depressingly funny about.
I think one of the windows is going to be 6 Kronenberg in a blue bag.
It's increasingly worse. Ends up with me on Christmas Day going, I'm carrying on, guys.
Smoking meth.
So that's going to be my plan. If anyone wants to join in, please go to my Instagram. But no, people should check you out. So what's your actual handle on TikTok?
So it's at Mr. Jack Skipper.
So Jack Skipper, and same on Instagram.
Same on Instagram.
And look out for you. Yeah, now you're doing stand up. You're out in this world of stand up.
Yeah.
The murky world of it must, and it is the Wild West. Open mic stand up is like the Wild West of comedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's carnage, and then it all keeps it. Every time you move up to the next sort of layer of gigs, it sort of gets a bit easier. And
I think that's
out,
it.
And it gets easier and easier until you're like in the main circuit.
Yeah.
It's much more manageable. And fun.
I am finding it more. I did that. I'm still doing ones where you turn up and it's a pub. And you're not even in a separate room of the pub. You're just in the middle of the pub.
Them fucking gigs, man.
People are trying to have like food.
Just running there.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing them ones, but it's experience, isn't it?
It's fun as well. I mean, you can really.
These are nice, man.
They are nice, aren't they?
I bet I could put them away from me.
But
After I take 3.
did you want a vegan sweet?
Yeah. Thank you.
And but it's good to appreciate the early days of stand when you actually can just play and work out what you're about on stage rather than like once you're getting paid and there's pressure in it, you've got to bring the goods. Whereas actually I look back quite fondly on being a newer comedian when there was no pressure other than just trying to get better. You know, when you get to our stage,
You can still try to get better.
It's impossible, man.
Can't improve perfection. Man.
I'm at the top.
Right. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's been really fun.
Thanks for having me. I
Lovely
really enjoyed
chat.
it. Thank you for inviting me on.
Good to see you, man.
You too.
And we'll check you out and keep an eye. And everyone else, thanks for watching, listening. Check out our Patreon.
Patreon.com/WeAreTVI.
get
Please
extra
subscribe to
episodes.
our YouTube channel, youtube.com/WeAreTVI.
Yeah. And we did another catch up since last
Subscribe
time,
to our
didn't we?
TikTok.
Oh, yeah. So go on and tell what is the
We've
TikTok?
got like single figure followers.
Because you've not told anyone about it. You didn't even tell me.
Oh yeah, he didn't even know.
You told me today that you set up a TikTok.
I forgot. I think it's We Are TVI or
Okay.
just TVI Clips actually.
TVI Clips.
TVI Clips. It's
Okay,
called.
cool. Right, check that out. I'll check it out because I didn't know it was in existence.
Follow us, guys,
Follow us and thank you for
and
listening.
comment below as well, because that helps us reach bigger audience.
But no bad comments, please, because
Or you can have a chat amongst yourselves. That helps us
feel free to
Yeah.
discuss the trans rights issue in the
Mainly
comments.
that.
Yeah.
Below our clip.
Why don't you all try and get that sorted in the comments section, yeah?
Solve that riddle.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks, mate. And yeah, it's been,
you.
hopefully we'll gig together soon.
Hey. Lovely.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.